not revile the gods, because I know like idolatry and like worshiping other gods is a sin.
You said you
So
looked this
why
up
is
in
this?
other translations too?
Yes, like for example, in the CSB, it says you must not blaspheme God, and I know that word that's being used there is Elohim, which
Mm-hmm.
um which is also in the plural. That's a plural word. I'm pretty sure, but I
Mm-hmm.
was just confused why it says gods here in the KJV.
Right. See, here's the thing. Um, in ancient Israel, and a lot of people don't know this, and different translators will translate the gist of what this is saying. But a lot of people don't know this, but the judges in ancient Israel, they were also known as gods. See, God could refer
Mm,
to an angel, it can refer to the Most High God, and it could just refer to anybody in a seat of power, right? In fact, Paul makes a reference to this. Let's go to the book of Acts.
which chapter?
Let's see. It's gonna be, hold up. Let me see if I can find this right quick. Acts 23.
Acts 23. I'm still getting there.
And this is when Ananias had Paul slapped because he thought Paul was being disrespectful, right? This
Okay,
Acts 23
yeah.
and verse 2. Go ahead and read.
And the high priest Ananias commanded them that stood by him to smite him on the mouth.
Right. So the high priest Ananias commanded the people that stood by Paul to smack him in the mouth because of something he said. Continue.
Mhm. Then stood Paul unto him, God shall smite thee, thou whited wall, for sittest thou to judge me after the law, and commandest me to smitten contrary to the law?
He said, God shall smite you, you whited wall, for you sit as a judge and you judge me after the law of Moses, yet you smote me or hit me contrary to the law of Moses. You see what I'm saying? So Paul is pointing out his hypocrisy, right?
Mm.
Now watch what he says in verse 4. Back to Paul. Go ahead.
And they that stood by said, Vilest thou God's high priest?
Did one of the words in this verse sound familiar?
Revilest.
Exactly. So they asked him, they said, do you revile God's high priest? That means like
Mm.
speak against him, or are you being disrespectful? Are you disrespecting him? Watch what Paul says.
Verse 5. Then said Paul, I wist now, brethren, that he was the high priest, for it is written, Thou shalt not speak evil of the ruler of thy people.
Paul said, I didn't know he was a high priest because it's written, you shall not speak evil of the ruler of your people.
Uh,
Notice that Paul substituted the high priest in the place of God's back then. And he said, thou sits to judge me.
I see it. Yeah, I see it now.
Right. So that's all that was talking about.
Okay. Well, that clears a lot of it up. Thank you. And my next question